let's start the podcast.
I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Two Al's, one pod right here.
Ow! Ow!
I'm Al Ducharme, floating on my way to Hawaii from Vancouver, Canada, on the lovely Ovation of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's one of their flagships, but it's a few years old, but still hanging tough.
Bagship. Maybe bagged flag.
Oh no!
Now I have to edit that out.
Anytime something funny happens, Al goes, we better edit that out.
I don't want you to be
We don't want to
funnier
throw
than me,
listeners-
okay? So I have
we
to
don't want
edit
throw
your
listeners
shit
with
out.
funny stuff.
That's Al Romas. He just boarded the Icon of the Seas after it was in dry dock for some repair, propulsion repair. How did that go?
I guess it went well. We're here. We're in Miami. We're loading up the cattle, and we're going to hit the sea. And so I guess everything's fine. You know, it's a wet dock. I heard today someone said wet dock, but
I don't know what that is, but
I don't either. I guess they don't take it out of the water fully. So that's a dry dock when it's out. So I guess they didn't take it out completely, maybe a little bit, and then they could get under it.
I think I prefer a wet dock.
I know. So yeah, they just got here, and then you were texting me. I was at the pier coordinator handing this woman my passport, and I'm reading your messages, and it's like homo, pickle smoocher. I'm like, dude, what the? I'm trying to get on the goddamn ship. Leave me alone.
Well, we were supposed to podcast a half hour ago, and you said, "What time are we podcasting?" I'm just getting on the
3
ship.
o'clock Eastern in my.
It doesn't matter. I'm locked away. I have no plans. Randy
No
Cabral
life.
just came on yesterday, so I'm going to hang with Randy for a little
Well, he's a
bit.
good guy. A good guy. For
Yeah,
a
he's a
juggler.
fellow Rhode Island guy, funny and very good juggler. So I like the combination of a real authentic funny person and can juggle. And there's some very good jugglers and there's some funny people that juggle. He's kind of got both things going on there. So
Yeah. And he's a coffee guy. He likes to, he's one of those guys you can sit and have a couple of cups and he'll entertain. He's not boring. And
Nope.
he's good.
and he's
Good
very
guy
funny.
to have out there for a couple days.
I like his funny posts. And he just spent, I think, over 2 weeks. He and his wife went to Italy and they traveled all over and he had a pizza every day for 14 days and then graded it. And,
Oh, wow. I
yeah.
didn't think I saw that.
Yeah.
He likes to travel. I mean, I see him. He does on his off time, off the ship. He and his wife will go somewhere, and they seem to they like that. I don't know. I get off these ships, and I'll lock the front door, and
Boom.
take out the gun and wait to shoot someone who knocks.
Wait for
Not
the
really.
election.
I don't have a gun. I don't have a gun. You have a gun? You own a gun?
I do. I have more than one. My father was a hunter, so I was brought up around them. It's not a big deal to me.
Mhm.
I don't have them on the West Coast though. They're all on the East Coast.
Oh. Well, that's not going to help you in a case of an emergency. That would be tough.
You're right.
Someone's breaking in. Get a plane ticket. I'll be back in 14 hours. I mean, I meant
well, you know,
at the
some of
house.
them
I
are
meant at the ready.
antiques.
I meant at the
I
ready.
know. Some of them are antiques. They're my sister.
You got a musket? You got a.
Got
That'd be nice.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. It's
Hold
a
on
replica.
there.
It's
I got to fill it up again.
Yeah, it's a muzzle loader, and I've gone hunting with my father. I've gone hunting with him with the muzzle loaders. We never saw anything.
How old are you? Dad and I enjoyed
I'm
the 1840s in
168.
Rhode Island.
168.
So
It was that one time I went to northern Maine. I got fell through the ice, froze to death for 84 years, and they thawed me out. And here I am.
It's a hell of a tale. You should have mentioned that on the pod.
Speaking of a hell of a tale.
303. You know.
How's Jim David?
Hey,
sorry.
what?
Hey, what
I don't
the-
know. Jim David. Hey, he's good. Good comedian.
Is he
Funny
on with
guy,
you
I
now?
guess, right?
Who's on with you now?
No. This is we get the same. It's Simeon Kirklees and Paul Ogata.
Oh, Paul's back.
Paul's back. I think it's his last one for a while, and I don't know who will be back in here in his spot.
A
but
person
I'm
of
it's
color.
Probably, yeah, I would say so.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a broad. Actually, there aren't any funny ones, so no. It would be a colored
I have to
guy
edit once again.
or maybe some sort of an Asian fella. So we don't know. It'll be something different than whitey. Can't have two. Well, you got the gay white man, you got the straight white man, and then you got to have a little.
You need
little
a black female, and she doesn't have to be African American. She can be African.
Yeah, it's hard when you have demand. Like when I was on the dating sites, my demands were, I wanted, and I didn't get it, but I wanted an orphan, nymphomaniac, blind, deaf, and dumb. That's what I was looking for.
That's the dream girl right there.
I know. I didn't get that, but yeah. Kelly's good. I'm not complaining, but
yeah,
there was other options. That's a tough one to fill. Though. You got to check those boxes. That's a lot of boxes to check.
A lot of boxes.
So yeah. What was my point? Anyway, I don't have a point. Last week, yes, the ship was wet dock. This week we go to the Eastern Carib, and then Saturday I get off the ship and I fly to Newark, New Jersey, and I will see Johnny Shipman, and we'll go to the Giants Bengals game. That could be ugly. Ugly.
Well, either way, are the Bengals 1-3?
I believe, they won last week, so they're 1-3. They could be 2-3, and then do they play again before Sunday? When did they?
I don't know.
There's so many different Thursday night and Monday night. So I don't remember, but the Giants play tomorrow. I think they play the Seahawks. That's probably a loss. So we're going there at 1-4.
Yeah, Seahawks are hot right now. I think that they are. I don't know if they're 4-0 or 3-1. I don't remember. But
it's interesting though. Those quarterbacks from the Jets, who everyone said sucked. Geno Smith, he's doing great in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Darnold's 4-0 for the Vikings.
Yep.
Maybe it wasn't all.
Well, you got to have the right circumstance, and obviously experience, the wisdom. The more snaps you take, injury, and then a season off, and all of a sudden, your mind is different. And
Well, the veterans too, they get it. It takes a while. Some of these guys get it right away, and that's great. But most quarterbacks, it takes a while. Look at Kirk Cousins right now. The guy looks good. You know what I mean? He's a veteran. You can tell the difference. You see these vets come in. They know, even like an Andy Dalton. He won a game last week. I mean, they just know what to do. Maybe they can't string it together though. The wins, that's their problem.
We'll go back a few years ago. Foles came in, right, and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So,
they have a statue of him outside, and then they cut him for the year.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny?
We built the statue.
He was 40. Wasn't he 40 or turning 40 or something like that?
It's a statue.
39.
Yeah. Philly sucks. Philly fans, they're the worst.
How's their baseball team doing right now? Are they collapsing? What's going on there?
But I haven't followed baseball this year the way I used to. Isn't that weird?
Mets.
You get a little older and you just kind of,
I know,
you don't follow sports the way you did. But I think the Mets, they're playing
hot.
Philly. They're playing Philly, I think tonight or tomorrow. I don't like these best of three though. You play the whole season, and you can have two games. You can win, you're out.
Yep. It's same thing in football,
Yeah, but baseball's, I don't know. I like, it should be at least 5 games, best of 5. You know what I mean? Give them a little chance, because the first game you lose. You got to win it.
That's a lot of games, though. Such a long season.
They all
160 plus. You go to the playoffs, and all of a sudden, to get to the World Series,
November.
Wow,
November. But look at hockey; they're already playing again
till June.
It's like, what the fuck?
Basketball
playing again.
Basketball
remember it seems like they just ended, for God's sake, and they're back on the ice. Hey, we have another storm. Oh, by the way, last pod, remember we were talking, and we didn't evacuate. We stayed
for Hurricane Helene, and I guess Florida fared well compared to the Carolinas. Asheville got creamed.
I mean, Clearwater Beach is still closed. You can't go down there. Only businesses and residents. They say people are saying it's worse than they're even talking about how bad it is down there. But yeah, you're right. Carolinas, I mean, got 1,000 people missing, and they're finding people in trees. And
Yeah.
towns are gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
town.
worse, definitely. But
because of the water, the rain, and the wind, and all those
water.
lakes, all those lakes,
Yes.
rivers, streams, to just the 100-year floods or more.
Yeah, yeah. We had nothing. We got very lucky. Under my leadership, we survived. We but
Well, the thing was, the way that storm was coming in, if you guys are trying to get out of its way, you could have, imagine if you went north.
That's what happens. Where are you going? You know what I mean? And people try to outrun it or go the other way. And like they say, sometimes you only have to do you can go 20 miles west and you're fine, or east, whatever. Right. But no, we didn't even lose power, to be honest. We got very lucky. Nothing happened. I was having a cigar out on the little balcony area, and a leaf blew by my foot, and I thought, well.
And Kelly was hiding under the bed.
Yeah, she did a lot of crying, a lot of weeping.
How was Teddy throughout?
He didn't even notice.
Was he oblivious?
He doesn't notice anything.
Yeah.
Although he knows now, I left this morning, when I leave, when I get my luggage out, it's funny. I've never had a dog do it. He jumps up and he wraps his arms around my leg.
He leave. Does now. Really?
Yeah. Don't leave.
Oh, wow.
Which is
I think he was humping you, but he's trying to dominate you.
That was earlier. Yeah. No, he gets bummed when he sees the luggage, and now he's doing the "don't leave me," But I had 3 weeks at home. I can't complain.
No,
honestly.
No, Buddy would crawl in my luggage.
Oh, well,
I'd open it up, whether it was on the sofa or the floor, and all of a sudden he'd be sitting in it like this. Where are we going? And I'm like, dude, we're not going. I'm going. You got to stay. He's like,
it's tough. It's a tough one. I mean, I'm, didn't have kids. I don't know how that would be, but just a dog looking at you don't leave me. That's tough enough without I don't want my son saying it or daughter.
Plus all the abuse he's getting at home when you're not there.
Huh? What? What? You're going to meet that mutt soon, man.
I am.
You're going to be in the Clearwater, Tampa area, and hopefully we'll get some pods done. But I don't know if anyone's listening in the Clearwater, Tampa area, and you got maybe a big space to film, and a funny woman one day, and a woman who's funny.
Doesn't even have to be funny. It has to have a little bit of acting chops. Yeah.
Yeah, but we would to have some improv skills would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't. We had someone, but whatever. She's moved on.
She has. She's appeared in 2 episodes, 3 if you count footage that I added to another episode.
I count it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, whatever sums up, but she's passed on this one. Going to pass on this project.
I find it interesting that person was happy to be involved when we were called. Well, okay.
Yeah.
The 2 dicks. Yeah. I think maybe that's what it is.
Interesting or weird that she was interested in doing it 3 weeks ago, and then when I confirmed, then she was out. It's
it's okay.
But anyway, we'll do some. We'll throw on the uniform.
We'll do a little star search.
We'll throw on the suits, and we'll get some weird shit done, and then maybe a couple pods and a dinner. We'll do a dinner. Yes,
unless we go with the original, we rewrite the script a little bit, and we interview the camera as the third person.
Oh, okay. A la Finkel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah, we could do something like that. I mean, there's things I just, we have it's weird to have a script literally given to us. And it's like, no, you can't film it.
A good script.
A good script. I don't know. I would ask, Kelly, but that's a lot for someone who's not really any kind of performer to go here. Here's lots of dialogue, and here's a whole thing, and
it's a little wordy.
Learn it, woman.
It's
Yeah,
a little wordy.
yeah. But anyway, but we're gonna hit Charlie's.
Of course, if we were doing it
I'm
in Los
excited for
Angeles, that would
that
have been so
because
easy for me to get
geez,
somebody.
yeah, hell yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
L.A.
yeah.
had a lot of actresses weren't working.
Yeah, I'm not talking about just friends. I'm talking about
Real, I'm sure.
just put the word out to somebody, and they're like, I know like 3 people here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I was saying, go ahead.
No,
Please.
I was gonna jump around a little bit and say
Jump.
we covered sports a little bit. Donald Trump is returning to the scene of the attempted assassination in Pennsylvania. I guess that's 1 month before the election. And he's trying to
today, is it?
Yeah, he's trying to get some more fire going here. What do you think of that move?
Going back there?
Yeah.
From
a strategic point of view.
I think it's probably good. I mean, he's looking like I'm not a pussy. You can't stop me. I'm sure his
it's getting media attention, right?
Yeah. Well, everything he does does get attention, and I don't know. I mean, I just question why we're not. Now I know Diddy's taking over the news, but I'm not a fan of old Trump, but there were 2 attempts on his life, and I feel like we're not talking about it. We're not investigating. I feel like there's really nothing going on with it. And I saw one of these guys, I forget his name, he does a pod, and he's an ex-Secret Service. And he said they're not taking it. He goes, Trump's being hunted. And he basically wanted to by our government. And nothing's happening. And his basic take was they're going to succeed. And, no one's paying attention.
Or
he didn't say before or after, but I think it was implied before because they can't have him win.
If he's returning there to recreate that moment, the guy that was the assassin, he's not available.
He's not going to be there.
No,
he didn't want to go on a slope roof again. It was scary.
No.
Yeah. What happened to him? Did we see the body? Did we see parents? Did we ever see the parents? Did we ever?
Yeah, the parents were there.
Were they?
There was some. The home was completely cleaned and there was no fingerprints. It was just like, come on, these are rumors. The parents lived there.
I never saw any facts about that.
They lived there for years. The neighbors. They interviewed some of the neighbors. They go, yeah, they were. The old. Yeah, they were nice. They were quiet. Some people, he was weird.
Yeah.
So one student said, yeah, he was friendly and whatnot. He was kind of doing his own thing. And other people he was kind of a freak. So,
I wish one time the class clown do this kind of thing. That way, because he's always a quiet kid. Nobody knew him. He didn't have a girlfriend. I wish the most popular jock, you know what I mean? Or the class clown or the high school quarterback was the shooter.
Ducharme was voted most humorous 2 years.
Most humorist?
Actually, 3 years. Elementary, junior high, and high school. I have trophies and certificates.
Trophies?
But I've never tried to assassinate anybody.
Participation, you mean? He tries. He tries to be humorous. Give him fucking something, would you please?
I was most humorous. Most humorous.
What does that mean? You're the funniest kid in school?
I was funny. I was class clown. I was class clown.
Who decided? Who voted?
The board. It was the popular kids that were tied in with the jocks and all that, but I still was able to get the nod because the jocks didn't like me because I'd make the girls laugh
because you were too funny.
I would make the girls laugh,
but they didn't worry about it.
And I always had a pretty girlfriend.
Yeah, but they didn't worry about it either. Yeah,
I always had a pretty girlfriend, and there was some envy.
Penis envy. That always reminds me though of like the gay guy in high school. Always had a million girls.
I was the gay guy
and a pretty girlfriend. That's what I'm implying. Yeah.
I knew you were going that direction.
They weren't worried about you because, well, they weren't. They weren't jealous because they knew. He's a pickle smoocher. He's a homo. Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, I meant to ask, what you're on the Ovation. This is from earlier. Are you heading you're heading to Hawaii? Are you done with your shows now? Are you just riding the
Interesting
boat?
enough, they have this is a crossing, and they're going to do an overnight in Honolulu, and they have the comedian do an adult show last night of the cruise. But because we're getting in Honolulu a day early before the cruise ends, I got the heave ho, and they have somebody staying overnight in Hawaii, a comedian who's going to join and then continue on for the rest of the next cruise. Yeah.
Okay. So your shows are done right now.
They are. I thought I was doing another one. So I actually, here's the thing. We didn't set sail till after midnight. So I was done with my show at like 10:15.
Oh.
So here we are, 2 hours before the ship leaves, and I'm stuck on a ship and sailing for 5 days without performing again. Now, with that said, if we have some foul weather and they cancel one of the production shows,
very possible.
My phone is going to ring and I will have to. So I took, I saved about 20 minutes of funny stuff, and then I'm going to do some filler with 10 minutes of your act.
Okay. Yeah. Well, just break out some of that old Cranston humor that voted you most humorous for
there you
5
go.
years in a
it
row.
all comes around full circle.
I'm sure that stuff will still work, and then jocks will walk out. Yeah, I would do the same thing you did, and I would assume. I hope you don't get the call, but I'm going to assume 5 days crossing weather. You may get a call.
Yeah, and the weather's kind of funky.
Eventually, also just them sitting around going, "What else do we have?" And they go, "Hey, we have Ducharme. He hasn't done a late show." They go, "Oh, let's do it tonight. Put him on. Give him a call."
Yep.
So,
and that usually comes from the hotel director, by the way.
Second most powerful man on the ship.
Person.
Seemingly.
Person.
Huh? Person. I only work with male hotel directors. So
right. Only male comics and male hotel
That's
director.
right.
All male review. And you're not gay.
No, but I like.
No, you just prefer to be around men.
And shows to be funny, and the ship things to work, and not be diverted because of various problems and bleeding. So yeah,
that Al Romas is exaggerating being a misogynist, right? You know that. It's just in jest.
You know. I'm not. What do you think?
Even though we have a tad bit of homophobia in us, we are exaggerating it to show you how absurd it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So just relax, everybody.
Relax. You know who needs to relax? Denzel Washington's PR team.
What's going on with that?
Well, every time I open up whatever TikTok or Instagram, it's a video of someone putting out of him like pushing Diddy away from him at a party,
like ignoring him,
pushing Jay-Z away from him we get it. You weren't there. We understand, but it's very blatant. I mean, his team, he's like, get me, because these rumors are A-list actors getting butt fucked at parties, and if you do the timeline, you go, well, he was the top actor in that time. So, but it's hilarious now. His team's just like, here's another video. Look at Denzel. He hates these people. He has nothing to do with them. He's with his wife. He's going home. We get it.
Do you think he was shoving him? But you saw him at the basketball game pushing. Was it Jay-Z?
I don't know who that.
He was like shaking other hands, other people, and he's coming up to him. He's like this. He's like pushing him away. He goes, "You butt fuck me, motherfucker." No, sorry. I have to edit that out now.
A lot of editing on this pod. Let me tell you. Oh, I'm exhausted, dude. That drive, it's easy, but that Miami ending is just fucking traffic. And then you got to get gas. It got to pull over and find a gas station, then back on the road, and then it's just bumper to bumper, people cutting into nightmare.
Let me explain. Those of you that are not in the flux here. Al drives from Clearwater, right? Well, you actually from Tampa Airport. Is that where you pick up your rental car?
Well, I pick up the rental the night before. I picked it up last night.
And then you drive from Clearwater to Miami. It's about 3.5, 4 hours, depending on traffic. You have to drop the car off, and then you have to get from the airport to the cruise port. And that's either taxi, Uber, Lyft. I think that's the only ways you can really do it, right?
Yeah, I did Lyft, and then the guys, it's 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 2 minutes, 7 minutes. I'm like, oh, fuck. Then he's at 1 minute, and I see the thing, and it's like
He goes right by you.
almost approaching me. He cancels.
He cancels.
He cancels the ride.
Now,
So
are
I'm
they
like,
doing
okay.
that on purpose? Do you
Yes.
think
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to get a higher rate?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Because
Yep.
what happens is when a plane lands and if there's no surge price, these guys they're in cahoots, some of them. And I had this happen to me in Canada. I called a taxi and he wasn't moving. A taxi. I called an Uber. He wasn't moving. And he was like just a couple hundred yards away, not moving. And then one guy sitting there goes, "Hey," he goes, "Are you waiting on an Uber?" I go, "Yeah, it's oh." It's taken him, it says he's like a minute away. He's not moving. And then the guy canceled. And I go, I can't. He goes, "Oh, I hate that." I go, "Yeah, now the price just jumped up to $35 from 18. So he goes, "Well, do you want to pay credit card or cash?" He goes, "I can, where are you going?" I go to the hotel. So I'm like, fuck it. This guy's in cahoots,
Right.
So now I'm like, all right, well, I'll give you 20 cash. He goes, he goes 30. I go, 25. It's midnight. I just want to go to my hotel. He's screwing me because he's making now 3 times as much as he would have made. And the hotel's like 10 minutes away. But that's how they do it now. They're in cahoots.
They got you. I know. And then the guy, so then he bails. I'm like, okay. So I hit it again. And then another guy came in. It was about another, I don't know, 10 minutes, but there's 800 taxis sitting there. Like those guys, I don't know what they're doing. There's nobody's outside, me and 2 other people. And there's like 40 taxis just waiting. And they're all outside the taxi, standing there going, taxi. And I'm like, no, I got the lift. Because the lift is like $21. And those taxis
35, 45.
Yeah, they start at 25 or something. But what a pain in the, it's just,
it is a pain in the ass. And
it's a pain in the ass.
And I'm going to blame Uber and Lyft because when they first came out, they were paying their drivers more.
Yeah.
And now they're making less. And
right.
the CEOs
That's why they're all
and all the people, and it's computer. It's not even like it's a fucking building with servers and technicians, IT guys, and the IT guys are making $250 a year, and the CEO's making $15 million bonuses on top of his $5 million, and they're taking more and more profit away from. It's a software company.
Yeah.
So now that causes these guys to go, hey man, how come I'm making less money than I was 3 years ago and I'm working more hours? Hey, let's do this scam. Let's pass it on to the customer.
I mean, it's like anything,
consumer.
it evolves, it figure it out. And I mean, it's a genius setup with the idea that you don't own, like the Uber CEO doesn't own anything. I love that. Like, and it's your car and your insurance. And it's all on you.
Well, it's actually Uber's insurance. They have a big umbrella insurance.
I think you use your own insurance for those.
No.
You sure?
Doesn't affect your insurance at all. Yeah, I read up on this.
I thought you used
Has
your
it changed?
Insurance.
No. You're protected under their insurance. That's a great insurance.
I don't know about that.
This is a huge insurance account to have. Insurance companies would love to have Uber and Lyft as customers because everybody pays into it. It's volume. The huge profit you make for the amount of accidents and whatnot.
Right.
The amount of accidents is minuscule compared to the revenue. Yes. Yeah. That's why the insurance companies and the banks, the main ones, have these big buildings with fountains and like 3 acres around them and a huge parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing I'm paying $60 a month now for Teddy's insurance. Teddy's insured.
Yep.
Because after my last dog with the ACL and the and issues, as you know, with a dog, you go, for $60 a month.
We dropped 10 grand on Buddy in his last like 3 years, I think. 2.5, 3 years. So
I mean, Teddy's only
a little
3.
mutt chihuahua that was, rescue, whatever bullshit.
Yeah. But, he's only 3, but I think but you never know. And I've always say I'm going to get the insurance. I never did.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were talking about it, and Kelly goes, well, you want to just get it? I go, just get it. Let's do it. Because
$720 a year. Basically, you're paying for the procedures in advance. If he's healthy for 10, 12 years, then without any issues.
Then I feel like I should have just put it into an account.
Well, I was trying to get to that. You can put it in a high yield
You could put 100 a month in something like that and then draw on it when he needs an operation or expense. But meanwhile, we're not blowing, just.
But you do have to pay income tax on the interest, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
See, this podcast is amazing. We talk about sports.
We are all over the map on this.
We are. We talk about a little bit about politics, current events, and insurance.
This is what happens when I don't have notes.
Investments.
I don't have notes, and
well, I have visual notes.
You got some notes?
I do. Yeah. Mine are visual. You know me.
Visual.
Check this out. This is my kettle in my cabin.
What?
See this kettle? It's a plug-in kettle.
That's in the cabin?
That's in the cabin. Now, if I brought my own, they would have taken it from me. Yeah, when I checked in. But here's one for you.
Figure that out.
No, I think this is not. I think every cabin has one.
A kettle? I'm
going to ask. Randy. Randy is right next door, by the way.
Yes, the guest. Oh, you blew it. Oh well.
Well, he's on European time. He's out of his mind right now. He's
a juggler too. Can't have one of them. Can't have those people.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because then he's got to juggle. It's like
he's not going to juggle. He's going to talk. We're going to interview him. We'd
all right.
Find out the history of juggling.
Well, we could if you want to get him on because what do you call it? I'm here. I leave Saturday, but then I'll be
guest to guest anyways.
I'll be the Johnny Ships on Saturday, Sunday, so I cannot pod. So unless we bring, maybe do it from Johnny Ships. I don't know. We'll see. But otherwise, we'll do it while I'm on this week. When are you leaving your Ovation of the Seas?
Thursday. Is that the 10th?
Thursday. Today's the 5th.
Saturday, so I have 5 Sunday, sea days and day all 6. Right. The 6th day, well, actually 7 days because they count the first day here.
Do you go
day
home?
7 of the 9-day cruise.
Home?
Yeah, I'll fly home from Honolulu to Los Angeles International Airport. And then I'm home for a few days, and then Bernadette and I will go to Las Vegas. She's working at the MGM at Brad Garrett's with Brad Garrett. And I'm doing a satellite room.
Follow him.
I'm doing a satellite room and potentially a cash gig, but I don't think that's going to happen.
That sounds
well,
awful.
It would have been $500, And,
where is this satellite room?
I'm not even going to tell you. So you can shit on me.
You got to go about 100 miles off the strip.
Pahrump. Is that what it's called?
Pahrump. Holy God. Wow, that's more than 100.
How far is that?
You make a left at Vito Chin's where he's buried, and then you make another right. Pahrump. God damn, I don't know. I don't think it's that far.
Half hour?
Is it one of those like station casino deals? Whatever those.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
But here's the thing. We usually drive to Vegas. We're flying in.
Flying. Southwest?
Flying.
Southwest?
I don't even know. Bernadette took care of the travel. And
so she's there all week, and what are you going to do all week?
And then on Friday, I will fly to Fort Lauderdale to join a ship. And then from there, I fly to Rhode Island for 3 days. And then from there, I fly to Richmond, Virginia.
What?
And then I'm going to make my way to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And I will be performing the nuptials for my sister's second wedding. There it is.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's quite a.
It's pretty
if you had
busy
the map,
sketch.
We could do the cartoony
Hawaii, LAX,
for
Vegas,
a clip, maybe.
Fort Lauderdale.
Holy
I'm getting
shit.
off in Aruba. They're flying me from Aruba.
Goddamn right you are.
To Miami to Providence, TF Green Airport.
When do you come to Tampa?
And then,
I thought that was during this next month or two.
Well, that's November.
We're in October now. That seemed like a
Yeah.
lot of travel before Tampa.
Yeah, it's a lot of short little travel. The cruise I'm doing is only 3 days.
And you'll get off that ship in Canaveral?
Aruba.
Oh, you're going to fly?
I'm doing like a
Why am I
half
thinking
cruise.
Canaveral? I don't know. So you're going to fly from Aruba to Tampa?
No, I'm going to bring
All
up my
right.
schedule because you're all discombobulated. Unless I'm
No, I'm
making a
not.
mistake, which is
I
not,
think you're making a
unheard
mistake.
of.
No, it's not.
You
Because
know?
I come home that day. Oh, actually, I come home that Sunday from Canaveral. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
Canaveral.
you're out of your mind. You did a gummy last night.
One, I did a bunch of gummies and I drove today, dude. I was in
Yeah,
Miami
you're
traffic.
you're a mess. You're a mess.
It hurt. It's a
Oh,
lot.
it's funny. Oh, funny. She just sent me my travel. Let's see if I put in the right requests.
Who did that? Your agent?
15 minutes ago, Laura on
All
hold.
right.
Richmond to Charlotte, Charlotte to LaGuardia.
Ugh.
Richmond to Charlotte. So they
Ugh.
want to fly me
You're
south
going backwards. You're going backwards, dude.
to LaGuardia and then LaGuardia. But she has me
LaGuardia
from, then she has me from, I'm getting on another ship there. That's why I'm doing all these
To New
short
York?
little ones here. And then she has me from Charlotte. Listeners don't want to hear this, to LaGuardia on November 2nd. Wow, that's a lot of travel. And then on November 17th, LaGuardia to Tampa. So I'll be arriving at 1:54 p.m. if I accept this flight.
154. Well, actually, that could work out well because I'm leaving Canaveral that day
And
and
you wanna
I'm
drop the
renting a
car
car.
off.
I'll drop the car at the airport and I could time it. Kelly could pick us both up and haul our asses
Wow.
down to Clearwater.
All
That
right.
could work out. That could work out.
Okay.
And then
Just so you know, that's on November 17th.
then Monday night we'll have a meal at Charlie's in Tampa, the famous Charlie's. They're closing it up. They're going to be at a new location in 2025. They already knocked down the hotel next door. Do you remember the DoubleTree was next door to
Do I
Charlie's?
remember the DoubleTree? I used to
Hey,
pick up
now.
hookers there all the time and she-mails.
Quiet. Anyway, they dropped it. It's gone. But Charlie's is still. But this will be probably my last visit on to a landmark, a Tampa landmark. They're going to reopen in 2025, but will it be the same? Probably not.
Well,
probably not.
People are going to go in, nah, you know what? It's not the same.
That's me.
They changed
I'll
the
be saying that.
menu. They got a new chef.
Yeah. Well,
Doesn't
you know
have
that
the same
menu.
feel. I
You know
don't
that
like
new-
it.
You know that new menu is going to come with some big old new prices.
How can they go any higher in that place? It's
They're
top.
going higher. New place. They're going higher. They'll be higher.
Oh my God.
But that place has the smell of that smoke and steak. It's in the wood. It's in the walls. You know what I mean? When you walk in there, it's just like, oh yeah, let's.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
You do, because even when they open the door before you go in, especially when it's warm out, all of a sudden you get a gust
Ooh,
of air conditioned, smoky grill.
Mm.
You know, that's where they dry age the meat in there. You just all that is happening, and it's just like
it's all happening, man. My first time there, I walked in and all the lockers, it would be like Joe Torre and Paul O'Neill and all the Yankees had lockers, and I'd be like, "What are the lockers?" And they go, "Cigars."
Spring training.
Cigars. I'm like, "Holy!" This was 1998 or something. But
wow,
I was like, "You smoke cigars here?" They're like, "Yeah." Oh, this is the. And then like a year or two later, it was like, "No more. Sorry, gone." So then they would use it, and they would. I would ask, "What do the guys do now? You can't smoke cigars anymore." And they were saying like Torrey had some really great wine in his locker, that kind of thing. So he brought some people with him, break out a bottle that's not on the Charlie's menu.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to see. The Charlie's trick, right, with the wine. I think we've discussed it before, where if I pick out a bottle of wine I like, and then they almost 8 times out of 10 they'll go, "Oh," they'll go check it out. They go, "We don't have it," but what we do have is a bottle very similar. And it's like, I don't want
it's
that.
It's a little less money.
A little bit, $3 less.
Well, what I'm saying is that's how they get you.
I know they get you all
because the
right.
markup on that is 3 or 4 times
I'm sick of
on wine.
I love wine, but I'm sick of it at restaurants. I'm tired of
How can you spend
putting
$14, $16
$200 on the bill.
for a glass of wine?
It's
If it's
stupid.
just a glass, so you're like, well, how many glasses in a
It's
bottle?
stupid. Four.
Right, right.
It's
Pour.
dumb.
I mean, heavy pour. But yeah,
Mm.
right. Two and a quarter.
No,
Right.
it's
Two and a
yeah,
quarter glasses
right.
each person.
Yeah,
So
but
four and a half glasses approximately.
and
And we know how much the wine is. We're
right. That's the problem. That's the problem. I mean, yeah, I know it's tripled usually,
and quadrupled
marked,
sometimes.
but sometimes quadrupled. But also, if you looked at your bill, if you had your cocktail from the bar and then maybe another cocktail at the table, then you had your dinner, and say your bill was $300. But you start doing wine, all of a sudden you're in the fives and the
Yeah.
sixes, and it's like
Yeah.
it's so stupid, really, to be honest.
That's why the
You know,
pre-gaming, I know they're strict about the drinking and driving, but people having a cocktail before they leave is becoming more common again. That kind of
it's
went
like when you're a
away.
kid, right? Like when
Yeah.
you're a kid before concerts and stuff, you would get drunk in your kitchen or in your house because you don't want to,
Well, you
pay.
get
I
a
couldn't
buzz going. I
afford.
wouldn't say
I couldn't
drunk.
afford. Well, not a buzz, but I couldn't afford the drinks at the place. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna meet here. We're gonna pre-game and then we're gonna go out. Okay, sounds good.
Bernadette and I are doing that. And when we're walking to a restaurant, there's a restaurant 1.6 miles away. So we'll have a pregame drink, some Prosecco or something, have a little walking buzz. We get there, the buzz is gone. We sit down, we order another glass of wine, we have our meal, and maybe top it off with a third. And then we walk home. We get our
Yeah,
3.2 miles in, and it's a great evening.
that's pretty good.
Hmm.
That's pretty good when you can walk to dinner kind of thing. Like
That's pretty
it's
far. There's
fantastic.
plenty of restaurants that are a
Well, that
quarter
one's far.
mile away.
3.2 is a
Well, we
little
do
bit
it for the exercise.
right.
We're really into that app of getting that 10,000 steps in a day.
Yeah, it's a made up number though. When I
I,
found that out, I was like,
I,
eh.
but hitting it isn't it 3.5 miles to get there? 10,000 steps. I think it
I
is.
don't. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like to hit it and you get it. It's cool, but the idea that people go Apple made up that number, it doesn't mean anything.
I don't care. It's good.
Yeah.
It's a
It's a good
motivator for me.
barometer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a motivator because I'll do that. I'll have my phone. I'll look at it at 11:30 at night, and it says 9,378 feet. I'm like, oh, so I get up and I walk around the ship a couple of laps and I come
I
back
do the
down.
same. I do the
says
same.
10,400. I'm like, yes, victory.
It's funny because then I take the steps on the ship all the time. And then when I go home, the app is like, you're not walking on steps. Your step count has dropped to zero. What's like,
Right.
what the fuck, dude? I'm like, but when at night, if I look at it and I'm close to 10 or a number, I'll just do a couple of around the hallways,
Yeah.
the deck, that kind of thing, get in and then hit the room. So
I
yeah,
feel
I do
good
the
about
same.
it, especially after a
thing.
meal now. I'm definitely getting in that
You like to
after
digest?
after meal digestion walk, 15 minutes sometimes, maybe a little longer. That's makes a big difference.
Yeah, man. Well, our Charlie's night, we'll walk it off and then we'll head over to Corona. We'll have a stick, like gentlemen, and we'll discuss the next day's
Events.
projects. Yeah.
All right, but we have to pregame.
Got a pregame. We'll have Kelly drop us
Now,
off. I think
you and I.
Yeah. I think she'll drop us off. We'll Uber home. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
yeah, I get you.
That's far. Tampa
Yeah.
was one thing. Clearwater, it's not far, but when you had a couple of drinks, it seems far.
Yeah, and you got to cross a bridge.
It seems far.
Yeah.
But what were you saying? Did I cut you off?
Yeah, but it's okay. It was nothing. I was just trying to manufacture some funny, but it's not happening today.
Oh, God damn it. I tell you, folks, it's not it. People like our clips, but they'll tell you that's the hardest part of this fucking pod. Finding clips.
Well,
Finding
because
humorous
we can
clips.
take something that's like 3 minutes long and edit it down to 30 seconds of the funniest stuff, and we look like geniuses. Right?
Well, that's a little bit.
That's a bit much.
Hyperbole. All right. Well,
What's we covering?
I'm here. I'm here this week. You're on the ship till Thursday. I'm on till Saturday. And
Oh,
then
tell me about the storm. You got another tropical storm developing into possibly a hurricane, and it could go on a similar path as Helene, which would be super devastating for the people that are already just struggling. Wow.
I mean, you can't. Yeah, it's like you just hope and pray it doesn't hit because I mean, they're not even showing, like I said, down in Clearwater. I mean, the people's homes they're gone and what they're going through, and the idea of any kind of a storm, tropical storm, or even a hurricane would be,
it is
unimaginable to them.
Living on any waterfront, whether it be lakes, rivers. Obviously, that's what's happening in the Carolinas or oceanfront. It's the trade-off is yes, it's beautiful sunsets, fresh air, blah blah blah, but you have to, yeah.
It's like the homes in California on stilts in the mountains, and it's beautiful.
Yep.
But a mudslide, an earthquake, and it's gone.
And I've been in a few of those, and I was in one not too long ago, and it's majestic. I mean, you're out looking. I can see the valley, mountains, and the ocean from this person's house because they're up several hundred feet and they're on stilts, and it's right on the edge. And their pool is like built.
Yeah, it's crazy
on a cliff, and I'm like,
yeah, I know.
We're in the middle of dinner, all of a sudden,
it's crazy.
Yeah, some of them stand there for 100 years, and then others fall down.
I remember being out there years ago, and I went to a party in Coldwater Canyon, and but the road just getting to the place was death defying. I was like, we're not going to make, and then you get up there and I'm out on their balcony and it's beautiful, but I'm like, wait, this is just, I don't know. I mean, I love it, but there was never a feeling of, I feel safe right now. I felt like this could collapse right now. What the fuck's holding this up?
I don't think I've ever slept over in somebody's house like that.
It'd be tough.
Because I thought about it, like, I'd have to be pretty drunk or something. I just, their bedroom, there's like nothing under their bedroom. It's just like one steel pole.
Yeah, man, it's different living. I remember getting in the car when we left, and I forget whose car it was. I was with Bruce Smith from Omnipop, the owner of Omnipop.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and I forget who owned car, and the guy was pretty buzzed, and we're all buzzed, but going down that canyon with a buzzed driver. I mean, I was just in the back with my eyes closed. So I was like, fuck this, we're going to die. Because that is, I mean, that's a different type of driving. And, you got to be used to that.
I remember driving my friend's car, little sports car. He was out of town. I crashed at his pad and used a sports car. He said, yeah, just go. I remember driving sober through the hills at night with like the Eagles playing cranked up. But I just remember some of those turns. I was like, whoa, whoa, yeah. Someone's right on my ass, on my ass. And I'm like, and they're in like a minivan and I'm in a sports car and I'm like, wow. Whoa. And the sports car can handle it, but I'm just not used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right before we went, we got gas. And I said to Bruce or the other guy, I go, is that Jay Leno? We're at the gas station. And they go, yeah.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, Jay. And he's got like literally like a rocket on two wheels. It's a motorcycle, but it looks like a rocket. And he pumped up and then he goes, hey, how are you, everybody? And he gets on the thing and he's laying down and he just blasts and he goes up Coldwater Canyon like 90 miles an hour. And I was just like, holy, I mean.
Well, he's a professional driver.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
definitely.
Definitely professional.
I'm an excellent driver.
Of course, I'm an excellent driver.
You know how to drive?
Yeah. Of course, I don't have my underwear.
What?
Jay's
excellent driver. Yeah, it's amazing who you do see in Los Angeles, like big stars pumping their own gas. I saw Tim Allen right at the Shell station, right up the street from my place. He was in a brand new Charger when they came out, the throwback Charger. He was topping it off.
Oh, yeah.
And people were checking him out, but he was more of a curmudgeon. He's like, whereas Jay's like, hey, how you doing?
Oh.
Seinfeld's like, hey, Jay, how are you?
Yeah.
Seinfeld's
smarter
approachable.
at that. Like I saw Ricky Gervais doing they were like, Ricky, and he gave them everything they needed. And then they were, like a minute later, he was done. He goes, everyone got everything? And they're like, great, thank you, Ricky. And he walked away. And they were like, he's so cool. What a great guy. It's just, I mean, I get it if it's overwhelming and too much, but that's just easier way to do it. And he was done.
Because you dismantle it. There's no paparazzi hiding, trying to get you because you're accessible.
Yeah.
Now, some of them do it on purpose, like the Kardashians would set it up. Like, she's coming to the airport. So they'd tell the paparazzi so that she'd get all this, that's all built in. But there's other people like, I mean, Paul Newman said, I stopped giving autographs when I was standing at a urinal. And a guy said, hey, you're Paul Newman. Can I get your autograph? So I understand why he stopped. I get it. And he was further along at that point. But a
lot of them.
Seinfeld goes, who cares? He goes, they want to say hello. He gives them a thrill. You go, hey, how are you? This way here, it's dismantled. There's no oh wow, he said hi to us. It's over.
Yeah, I remember Letterman hinting at Leno. Remember years after Leno, there was bad publicity because Conan and him, and then Jay had 2 incidents where he helped people on the road, like fix their tires, and let them on that night and go, it's great that Jay's got a photographer around just in case someone's car breaks down, because it's true. It's like, oh, it just happened to be there, but okay. Yeah.
Well, there is that too,
There is that. Yeah. But little PR like Denzel, like I said, his team is putting it out there. This
I got
man
nothing to do with these guys.
Diddy. He never liked him.
Is that a wrap?
I believe so, man. I was gonna take a nap. My deal is I'll get to the ship, I'll do the pod, I'll take a nap, and then I drank 15 ounces of coffee while we did this pod, and now
hold up your coffee again.
Oh, look at
Who's
that.
Who's the man? Who's the man?
That looks like a teapot. That looks gay. It doesn't look like a coffee. It looks like a teapot.
You cursed brat! Look what you've done! I'm melting! Melting! Oh, what a world! What a world!
So long, man. Have a good trip.
Iceberg! Dead!
Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The2Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the 2 Owls, 1 Pod podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
What?
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
All right.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Go to patreon.com/forward2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.